All right, well, let me give the official cheers and say welcome to each and every one of you to another edition of Happy Hour with the Lincoln. This is where I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions, tell tales and rant about stock market topics, and of course, share my 2 decades of trading experience with you guys. Why would I do that? Just to make you more professional, more well-rounded, and more importantly, a more profitable trader. Now, speaking of trading, as always, guys, if you need help with that, you know where I'm at. Come visit thelincolnlist.com. Click on the Trade Room tab. Each and every one of you are welcome to trade with us live each day. Not pulling any punches with you. I'll show you in real time how to be a successful trader and how to live this trader lifestyle. Not that Lambo model, popping champagne bottle stuff. I'm talking about being a consistent, long-term, profitable trader. The kind that pays their bills. The kind that takes care of their family. The kind that takes care of themselves. The kind that lives with respect. Respect of that market. So anyway, enough of that little rant. Now, speaking of rants, I've been doing a lot of ranting lately. As you can see, I'm just now back in San Diego after a couple of weeks in the Joshua Tree, which I'll be heading out here soon again. And I thought, let me do something different since these last couple of happy hours is just me babbling on back and forth about stuff. Maybe that's entertaining. But how about I go back to the mailbag? I want to answer some questions. And as I was looking through some of the ones I got, I want to touch on a topic that deals specifically about a type of an emotions that traders go through. As you know, this is why we started Happy Hour in the first place. Anybody can draw lines on charts and read some candlesticks after a weekend class and understand what a MACD does and understand how to scan. To me, that makes up maybe 10 to 20% of a trader's business. The rest, it's right up there, guys. It's your mental stability. It's how you process this. It's how you react to fame, fortune, and failure, and whatever. It's all about being mental, not kind of like mental, but being mentally prepared to handle everything. So here's what I wanted to talk about. This question says, how do you handle bad trading days? Like, how do you actually handle a day that just really pisses you off? The kind where you're just ready to call it quits. So here's the question. I'll read that first, and then I'll go ahead and I'll chime in as always. It says, Doug, how do you handle a bad trading day? I'm in a phase where I win a few days, and then I feel good about myself, and I think I can do this for a living. Then I have a bad day, and I immediately want to quit. I keep going through this roller coaster of emotion, and it drives me crazy. I have such a problem dealing with bad trading days. I think it has a lot to do with emotionally setting me back. Now, you seem to be an even-keeled guy. Thank you very much. So I thought I would ask you. Now, I first want to address this by saying, what is a bad trading day? Now, the person that wrote this email didn't say, what do you mean by a bad trading day? Are you saying that a bad trading day is just a losing day? Or are you saying a bad trading day is where you just like clocked out all of your gains from a couple of weeks? Like you just totally went rogue and just blew out a bunch of gains and just embarrassed yourself and then started to like force trades and stuff. So let's talk about the first one. One of the biggest shifts to becoming a professional trader and understanding it, we always talk about it, is emotions. And you're going to hear a lot of other traders talk about emotions, but let me just give you an insight about what we mean when we say emotions. You have to separate winning and losing from your trading, so to speak. You can't take losses personally. That's what I'm trying to say. It does matter when it's nice to win more than you lose. You need to win more than you lose for most traders, but you can't take those things personally. You have to look at trading not in terms of winning versus losing, but risk versus reward. That in order for you to reap the rewards of trading and enjoy the fruits of success for trading, you are going to have to take a certain amount of risk. It's like any occupation has that sort of risk. You know, if you look at professional athletes, which I make reference to, they make a lot of money, but they also can have a career-ending injury. Some of them could end up paralyzed in a wheelchair, and some could even be killed if it's certain types of motorsport. So there's a trade-off for that fame and fortune, so to speak. So you have to be willing to understand that trading isn't about winning and losing as much as it's about risk versus reward. Now, how this applies to this topic in particular is if you just have a bad day of trading where you just can't get anything going. I mean, I have those. I usually have what I call is like a bunk day. This is like just, I can't get anything going. At least one a week where I just can't get anything going. Now, it's in a lot of cases it's a losing day, but it's not something that I can't make up the next day. It's not something that I can't get over. It's not something that just destroyed my account. It's just part of doing business. So out of 5 days during the course of a week, it's impossible, guys. It is impossible for any trader that's alive to just continually knock out not six figures. I was kidding. 5 figures. Let's move the figures down. Those penny stock traders with the Lambos selling the course. We'll leave them with the 6-figure daily gains. Us little, putzes over here, well, we'll deal with the 5 figures. But it's hard to just make money like that every single day because, again, we're all sort of prisoners to the market. I've mentioned this before. So the market has to dictate. Some days are going to be really good and froth with opportunities, and other days are just going to be low volume garbage. Sometimes that's on a Friday, sometimes it's on a holiday, sometimes it's the beginning of a week. You just never know. You never know. You just sort of have to take what the market gives you. Some days good, some days are going to be bad. So to me, a bad trading day is just when I just can't get a win. I can't do very good. I'm just not getting anywhere. Nothing seems to be working like it normally works or what I'm used to. And that just comes with the territory. There's nothing you can do about that. If you are a trader that can have a bad day and your bad day doesn't even equal what one of your good days are, or it's within average of what one of your good days are, something that you feel in your heart and mind that you can make up, that's not a bad day. That's just part of the territory. Now, that's one of the shifts for me because I want to go to the other part of this. Is it a bad day where it blew out your account? So like when I was an amateur trader and I was screwing this whole thing up, a bad day for me meant there went my month. Like I would literally run the table. I felt like the entire month. I'd be having this killer month going on, record months for me. And then all of a sudden I would do some stupid shit. I would do something stupid and blow the whole month out, right? Now that, guys, that is not just a bad trading day. That's a horrendous trading day. And you know what? You do that long enough, you're not going to be here. Not because so much of the money like I talked about. It's more to do with your psychology. Because this is how it worked on me. And now I'm talking about this is like 01, 02, and 03. So one of the problems with that for me was you would be like, kind of like where this email's indicating, you feel like, okay, I'm a professional trader. I'm going to be able to do this. Then you mess up one day and blow your whole month out. Now that's just unacceptable, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to try to warn you guys of what to do and what not to do. And the reason that's bad is because nobody can live with a job like that. Nobody can live with, they say, if I make one mistake, if I have one bad day, I'm going to ruin my whole month. You can't live with that on the back of your mind. You just can't live with that in the back of your mind. You do that a few months, 6 months down the road or whatever, you're either not going to have an account or you're just going to be so emotionally drained and so afraid to take losses. Now, where the snowball effect that a lot of traders don't understand what really happens is sort of this chain reaction of events. If that happens, then when you get to the situation where you start losing on something and you reach this threshold where you realize, I'm not going to make that back, it causes us to have a tendency to want to fight harder with a trade and make it even worse because you're like, I can't give up on it now because I'm already screwed. And that's just a horrible, God, that's a terrible spot to be in, dudes. Man, I know what that feels like. It's like, oh, God. Anyway, so to me, that's a bad day. Now, if you're just a trader out there, you just have a bad day, maybe a couple bad days in a row, don't worry about it. You got to keep the losses small. If they're just small losses and it's just frustration, you should be happy. You should be happy because that's part of your development is realizing, hey, it ain't happening. Forget it. And that's one of the biggest shifts for me is I went from my bad day was blow up your account, lose your month to, okay, well, I'll make it back to where you're just pissing me off. Let that be your worst experience with trading. You're just pissed off and frustrated because you can't get anything going. Let that be the worst thing that happens to you. If you're on that level, then it's fine. Now, because we're all going to go through bad streaks. Now, if it's something where you keep blowing up, you got a problem there. And you're going to have to get some help for that, or you're really going to have to take a look in the mirror and reevaluate. Because nothing, I don't know if there's anything I can do to help you if you just keep doing it over and over again. It might be something that's chronic. But you got to fix that. You really got to fix it because you're done. You will be done. I don't care how bright, how many charts you've read, how amazing you are with technical analysis. If you keep having behavioral problems and you keep having psychological problems and you keep having these breakdowns like that of judgment, forget it, man. You're done here. I don't care where you came from, how you got here, how rich you are. You're done. You will be done here. You've got to maintain your composure. And you got to understand that it's all about risk versus reward. You have to take the risk to gain the reward. If your strategy and your system is good, it should protect you against downfalls. And to me, that's a great thing. I don't know why people look at it bad. Because every trade that you go into, you should know how much you're going to lose. It's not a surprise. The surprise is, how much am I going to make? Am I going to make a little bit or am I going to make a lot? That's the surprise. The surprise is making the big bucks. The loss, it's already kind of laid out for you. You kind of know that. If you don't, you're doing it wrong. You're just putting yourself in a high stress situation, and over time, it creates this behavior and it creates this sort of philosophy that just screws you up. So anyway, I hope that helps you out, guys. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad week. It's okay. It's a bad month, as long as it doesn't clean you out. As long as it isn't something that you can't recover for, don't sweat it. It's just a part of the territory, man. It's part of growing as a trader. If it's something that's worse than that, get some help. Get some help and fix that, or you're done. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this happy hour. As always, cheers, trade well.